Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tell It to Trevor. Today I'm your host Trevor Shelley, and today on my podcast I have
J.A.C.
And Clara Carter.
all right. What sparked you guys' interest in the professional wrestling industry?
God, probably as a kid, I watched it with my dad. Then I fought MMA, and I got sick while I was fighting MMA, and I said, "Why not try it?" And I always wanted to, so I've been doing it now for 4+ years, so it's been going really well.
Yeah.
And then I've always watched it because I have two brothers. So my older brothers started watching it, and then they always wanted it on the TV, and two versus one, two always wins. So it was always on the TV, and I always thought it was cool. And when I graduated high school, there wasn't really anything I wanted to do. And I grew up doing jujitsu. So my jujitsu coach was like, "Oh, now it's time for you to, start traveling, doing more competitions." And I was like, "Well, kind of want to try wrestling." So then I chose wrestling over jujitsu, and now here we are.
Who were the wrestlers you guys grew up liking as a kid or at a young age?
As a kid, I got into it because of The Rock, like because I watched him in movies and stuff. And probably like Randy Orton was a big one. Obviously like CM Punk and John Cena. I didn't start watching until 2011, so it was around that time period.
Yeah.
And my favorite was Shawn Michaels and Jeff Hardy.
Okay. Which I remember you got to wrestle Jeff at that one AML show.
Damn right I did. And I technically eliminated him too. So I have a
Yeah.
victory over Jeff Hardy.
Since you were the last one to touch him, and then he
Sure was.
got it out.
Damn right.
I remember that because that was the first time I actually got to see him wrestle in person.
That was so. I brought it up as a joke to Brian because I was like, "Hey, Jeff Hardy's gonna be here. Can I wrestle him?" Because I always pitch to wrestle men, and he
Yeah.
always said no. But you never know. The squeakiest wheel always gets the oil. So I pitched him the idea, and he was in Japan at the time. So I think Brian just felt bad for me. So he was like, "Okay, you're in the gauntlet," and I was like, "There's no way." I thought it was a joke until his music hit, and I was like, "Oh, it's real."
Yeah. Um, my friend saw my face right when Willow came out to talk with Enzo, and
Yeah.
he was like, "I can tell you're so pissed off at Willow," and I was like, "When you're trying to build a character against Willow, yeah, absolutely."
I love everything he does. I think he's a genius.
Yeah. Because for me, I met Jeff back in 2021,
Hmm.
right after his dad died at my work.
Yeah.
So he was drinking and such before he got all rehabbed up and everything.
Hmm.
And he went in the me and him went in the back of the building, and he did the Willow voice for me on camera.
Hmm.
And he was like, "You know how many people are probably like scared out of their mind that they just heard this noise
Yeah.
out of nowhere in Concord, North Carolina?" I was like, "Yeah, probably so, especially at 10 o'clock at night."
Right.
Yeah.
Um, so how did you guys get started in the wrestling world?
Well, so this guy named Mason Matthews. I was dating this girl who was sister was dating him, and he kept telling me about it like for a long time. And I kept telling him I was going to do it. I always felt like I had to do MMA to get to the UFC to get to WWE. I didn't really know too much about the independents, especially in North Carolina. And he goes, "Come try it, come try it, come try it." Well, I get pancreatitis and in the hospital, and I make a phone call to my MMA coach. I said, "All right, I'm gonna go try this pro wrestling thing now. All right, I'm done. I really want to try this." And I walked in there my first day. I was with this former wrestler named David Parrish, and we both walked in on the first day, and I just fell in love with it after the first bump.
And then I graduated high school in 2020, so it was COVID time, so I had to wait until the world reopened. But that gave me a good year to really like look around my area and see what the most reputable schools are. And at the time, I was living with my mom in Charlotte, and she actually found Dr. Tom's school in Tennessee. And she was like, "Hey, if you're serious about this thing, I know he's the best trainer ever." So I saved up all my money from the second I got my first job. I put 25% of every penny I made to a savings account because I knew that when I graduated, I would need money for a down payment for the wrestling school, whatever. So I paid for the wrestling school, and then I moved to Tennessee for 3 months all by myself. And I learned from the greatest coach of all time. So it was really cool.
Yeah. What was your guys' first matches like?
I was at a bar show and it was raining outside. And like most people's first matches are battle royals, which mine was too. And it's funny because what's John's gimmick name? Noel.
Yeah.
Noel was in that match too, and we've had very similar careers so far. And it was both of our first matches. Well, someone got whipped off into the corner, and the turnbuckle goes flying off. And so, like, my first experience was in this crappy bar in like Hidnight, North Carolina, and raining and pouring, and it was just, I mean, it's wrestling. And then, like, the week after that, I had a tryout with WWE. So it's just like you go from that to then you get to see the world, and then you're back to that. And yeah, wrestling is just this. And yeah, that first match was just crazy. I loved every second of it. I remember thinking it was the coolest thing ever, even at the time. But me and Noah both got eliminated at the same time, and we both landed on each other like on gravel, and so it was wild.
Okay.
And my first match was I had an actual match before I even did a battle royal. I had my first match like a month and a half after my first day of training, and I was absolutely terrified because I felt like I wasn't ready. I was training 5 days a week for 5 hours a day with Dr. Tom, and he came up to me one day and he was like, "Hey, there's a local promotion in Tennessee and they really need a girl. I threw your name in. I think you're ready." And I almost pooped my pants. I was like, there's no way. Like, I don't even have gear yet. I don't even know who I am yet. And he held my hand through the whole thing. It was terrible, horrible match. I want to forget about it, but it was a good experience, and he thought I did good for someone who's only been training for a month and a half. I still have the whole match on my phone. Maybe one day I'll rewatch it, but I just cringe every time I think about it. So
And then what schools did you guys go to for
AML Pro
wrestling?
Wrestling Training School. Yeah, I was trained by originally Josh Gary, and now I'm trained by the Beer City Bruiser, and he still trains there. We have classes. I'm gonna promote it. So we have classes from Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's from 6 to 9. All levels are welcome: beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever you are currently at. We will get you ready to be the best wrestler you possibly can be. And then she obviously was trained by Dr. Tom.
I
Yeah.
trained at the Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're in La Follette, Tennessee now, with Dr. Tom Pritchard, and now I train at the AML Pro Wrestling Training Center with the Beer City Bruiser, and he is the only person that trained me outside of Dr. Tom. So I think that's pretty cool.
What are your guys' goals for the wrestling business in the future?
Get signed, and my biggest goal was like obviously to be the best I could possibly be. Right now, I'm in like a zone right now where I just am very envisioning everything that I want right now in my career. And obviously, like if the cards were on the table right, everybody be crazy not to say WWE. I want to be a world champion one day, whether it's WWE, Noah, AEW, regardless. That's my biggest goal. I want to be a world champion in some organization.
My biggest goal has always been WWE. He got to wrestle in Japan. I would love to go to Japan because I think they have some of the best wrestling in the world.
Yeah.
And mainly, I really just want to represent my culture and my people and show them that we can be bad bitches and we can be front and center and we can lead the pack. So
So can you talk about your experience in Japan?
Yeah, yeah. So it really starts with I got to thank West Coast Pro out in California because I went down for a tryout in March of the last year, and I was handpicked by Shigusa Nagayo and Scott, who is the booker for West Coast Pro, and I got to get flied out by West Coast Pro, and for 3 months I was training in the Marvelous Dojo with some of the best wrestlers in the world. Period. And I
Yeah.
got to my first match in Japan was actually in Kirk Hall, which is a huge, huge honor and it was a big deal to me, and I'm very proud of that. And I had the satisfaction of working for Pro Wrestling Noah Secret Base, and I had the opportunity to learn a culture that is I am so in love with, and I can't wait to go back. And the people down there are the most special people in my heart. Whereas obviously, like here, like I could care less for Americans, but the Japanese people are like they're just special to me. They treated me with the most utmost respect and kindness, and I did the same to them. The food is the best food on earth. They don't have this processed bull crap that we have here. I felt like $1,000,000 was getting the train 24/7 in the dojo. I learned so much down there that I'm very grateful. I can't say enough about West Coast Pro for the opportunity. They'll probably be having another tryout coming up probably in Vegas. I'm assuming if they don't, it'll be coming down in the road because they like to do one every year. If you're a pro wrestler, you're watching this, do it. I mean, why not gamble on yourself? You know, like you'd never get anywhere in life if you don't gamble on yourself a little bit. Marvelous is, without a shadow of doubt, probably the future of Japanese, especially women's wrestling in Japan. They are a wonderful company. Shigenusa Nagayo is by far probably my most respected person right now in wrestling, just for what she did for me and the person she is, how loving and kind she is. But she is, in my opinion, the greatest women's wrestler of all time. And so being down there and having that as a mentor was just special, and it was amazing.
I remember we officially met both you guys at the AML show last month.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my buddies that went with me, and I was like, for a guy that doesn't really like watching tag team matches, your tag team match stood out the most.
Thank you. Yeah, I love tag team wrestling. I think tag team wrestling can be really boring if
Yeah.
allowed. There's a way you can make it very special and very entertaining. When done right, tag team wrestling is, in my opinion, the best wrestling in the world because it flows better than a normal singles match. Whereas some singles matches can have like those pauses and those dead spaces because people can get tired, people get blowed up. In tag team wrestling, like you can have a whole match with no air. It doesn't need to. We can go. And especially for like big guys, like me and Zuka are two pretty big human beings. We're both heavyweights, and then the Dawson brothers are huge. So like, and be able for us, for our weight and our size, to be able to do the stuff that we all do in that ring, like I cannot like the Dawsons as much as I want to, but like I obviously respect them for all the matches I've had with them now, and I've learned a lot from them. But like yeah, anytime we get together, we obviously there's the hatred from the past, but like we put on pure magic. It's just we have so much chemistry with those guys.
Can you guys describe your wrestling personas or characters for the fans around the world?
I'm just me. Yeah, I don't. I'm. It's not really a character. What you see is what you get. It's just turn up to 11. Like obviously, if you see me in public, like I'm not going to just scream and yell at you, but I might want to. You know, yeah. That my character. It's not a character. It's me. I'm a professional athlete at the end of the day, and this is my sport, and I'm one of the best in the world at it. It's proven because I have traveled the world. So I'm an international badass, and this is what I love to do. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's the same way. You know. Yeah. Yeah, she's Brazilian by heart, loudmouth, brash, Latino, badass that can't be stopped.
Purebred athlete here. Both my parents were professional athletes, so.
And let's be honest, she can be a bitch.
That's.
I'm married to her. I know.
Can you share a memorable moment from your guys' wrestling careers?
Yeah, besides like the Japan stuff, and then I'll let you do your stuff. But like, I got to wrestle with Nick Nemeth in a tag match, and like he literally I can't like speak highly enough of this individual because he went and wrestled at AAA, won the AAA championship in Mexico, came and wrestled me and Zuko on 36 hours of being awake. And so, like, he's just phenomenal. I mean, he's the best in the world, if not like definitely top five. And getting to work him at like such like I'm just 4 years in, and at the time I was 3 years in. Like I'm so blessed at where I'm at right now in wrestling. I've got to do so much, and getting to share the ring with someone I idolized as a kid was pretty surreal. Now next time I'm gonna knock his teeth down his throat and win, but here we are now.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest thing that stands out is my little moment with Jeff Hardy, just because I would stay up till like 6 in the morning on a school night watching his matches, and I would get my ass beat because of it from my mom. And then she was actually there to see it, and she literally stood in his meet and greet line just to tell him, like, "Oh my God, you're the reason my daughter wants to wrestle." She embarrassed me. She embarrassed me because he came up to me after the match and he was like, "Oh, I met your mom. She told me you loved me." I was like, "Oh my God, it's so embarrassing." But I've also been super blessed. I did the Crockett Cup. I was like a year into wrestling when I wrestled at the NWA Crockett Cup when they were here in Winston, which was crazy. I got to wrestle Camille. I got to listen and be under the learning tree of Medusa, Damian Priest, so many people. And wrestling is just so crazy.
It is. It's wild.
Yeah.
The thing, like, I got to wrestle at Pro Wrestling Noah, like, not even like back in October. Like, it wasn't that long ago. And like Masawa started that. It's one of my favorite promotions ever. And Masawa's like an idol of mine. And I know I got to be in the same place that he started and he funded, and he made it to something that's truly special as it is. And I don't think people give Noah a lot of credit like they should, because Noah is truly, like, if you go to Japan, all you see is Noah posters. You go to Tokyo, it's Noah posters everywhere. And I wish America respected wrestling like Japan does, because
Yeah.
Japan just has this true like respect for something that's probably the greatest art form in any entertainment now. And it's just because we're physical, we're brutal. We can make you smile, we can make you laugh, we can make you cry. And you're in front of a live audience. You can't get that watching a movie. You can go to the theater all day long. You come to a live pro wrestling show, you're getting to see it face to face. You're getting to smell it, hear it, visually see it. You see blood, sweat flying everywhere. The greatest form of entertainment in the world. So, yeah, we are just blessed to be a part of it.
Can you guys describe the feeling of winning your first championships?
Which one was my first?
Oh my God, I beat Rachel Ellering for my first one, and that was pretty crazy because I was literally less than 6 months in, and I was like, "There's no way! Like, this is a joke." Because I got to the arena, and he was like, "I think we're gonna put the belt on you." I was like, "What? Are you sure?" And Rachel, she is such a great person. I wrestled her. I was less than 6 months in, and then I did AEW a few months ago, and I saw her at catering, and she came up to me and gave me the biggest hug, and I haven't seen her in like 2, 3 years, and she remembered my name, and she asked me how I was doing. She asked me about him, and she's just a phenomenal person. I have nothing but good things to say about her.
My first one was the Future Stars of AML Championship. I was very lucky. I'm the first AML trainee to ever win a championship in AML. But also more than that, like it's just getting to carry the flag for the training center. The training center is generally one of the best training schools in the entire United States and in the entire world. And I want to carry that flag. Like I want to carry that flag everywhere I go. And I was very proud to be the first Future Stars champion. And when me and Zuka beat the Dawsons and Money ENT, and we become the tag team champions, like where we'll carry that flag too. But like it's just about like carrying the training center. I want to put it on my back. And I want the world to know about it because that's very important to me.
Yeah. I know I'm planning to be at the next show for sure.
Hell yeah.
So I'll make sure to stop by your guys' table and say hey.
No, good. Yeah.
And then you brought up that you guys were on AEW.
She was. Yeah, she was on Dynamite.
So how was that compared to like other indie shows? And
Um, It was really, I loved it. I had a great experience. I wrestled Camille, and I wrestled her. I wrestled her my first year also. And then I got to wrestle her on AEW, which was pretty crazy. Christopher Daniels was our agent, and that was crazy because I grew up watching Christopher Daniels. I loved
Yeah.
TNA as a kid, so that was a crazy moment for me. Sasha Banks was there too, which was, I rubbed that in Jada's face. Jada Stone loves Sasha Banks, and I
Yeah.
said, Jada, guess who I'm wrestling? So it was a great experience. I learned so much from Christopher Daniels, and I always learn whenever I'm with Camille and everybody there. Like, it's so welcoming there. Like, people want you to talk to them. Jerry Lynn wants you to talk to him. Christopher Daniels wants you to talk to him. Like, they all want you to ask them questions so that you can learn and grow as an athlete and as a professional. So I had a lot of fun.
How do you guys handle the mental and emotional aspects of wrestling?
Oh God, cry. Cry. I call Beer City Bruiser, God bless him and Dr. Tom, whenever I have a crisis in wrestling, I blow both of them up all the time. And I'm sure they get so annoyed at me and they're like, Clara, shut up. It's not that serious. But to me it is that serious. Um it's honestly one of the best professions in the world, but also one of the most heartbreaking because it is a heartbreaking business. You know, it's, you put what you get out, what you put in, and you have to give it your all if you want to see the results that you always dreamed of. So it's a mental tough battle a lot of the times.
Yeah, I don't want to like make it out to anything other than it is though. We're at the end of the day, we're still getting to live our dream,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So like for me, when I'm like feeling sorry for myself or some other bull crap, you know, I think about I have to put myself in that place of how lucky I am, because I
Yeah.
think about the kid that was 19 and 20 that was Tyson.
Well,
Our beautiful cat.
But I got to think about the kid that was 19 and 20, you know, that was struggling and that was broke. And then I think about that guy and to where I am now. I'm married. I'm doing my dream. I make really good money. You know, I got a beautiful apartment and I'm living the best life I could possibly live. Yeah, I can't feel too sorry for myself. Yes, there's bumps. I have pains, obviously. I go through some stupid crap sometimes in the ring. But I chose this life, you know, like this is what I was meant to do since I came out of the womb, for sure. And I'm just blessed to do it. I can't put it any other way. When I'm out there, nothing in the world matters but that. It's just that time I'm in the ring, that's what everything means to me. My whole life is for that moment every single time. It don't matter if I'm wrestling in front of 5 people or I'm wrestling in front of 10,000 people at WrestleCade. I give it the same ability and I feel the same goosebumps every time I walk out, regardless if it's cheers, boos, whether it's Japan, United States, it doesn't matter. Like, this is what I love to do. So, yes, it would be really easy to be sad about stuff in wrestling, and it's very capable. But, like, everybody needs to, like, put themselves back in that perspective of, my life's really good compared to what it could be. You could be working construction. Like when I was 19 and like 18 and 19 and 20, I was working construction. I was in 120-degree attics doing installation. Like when you put like, and now I'm wrestling in front of 10,000 people at WrestleCade. Like, you know, like I got to do tryouts with WWE. I got to meet my idols. Yeah, no, life's good.
And you have to surround yourself with good people because there's a lot of bitter people, but then there's a lot of motivated and excited people. So you really need to surround yourself with like-minded people because it's very easy to like look at a match that you have, whether you don't like the person or you just don't want to, do a specific style that night, and you're like, I don't really want to do a lot, it's not a lot of people here. You have to go in with the mindset that you're only as good as your last match you've had, you know what I'm saying? And if you go in with the mindset to make your opponent look good, you're going to look good also, so people need to, instead of, trying to expose each other in the ring or whatever, they need to learn how to work together so that they can create this beautiful little masterpiece and then everyone leaves happy.
But also, like, a big thing with that too is like, let's say someone says, "I don't want to like." There's only 5 people in the crowd. I don't go hard. Why? Those 5 people work their asses off Monday through Friday to pay a damn ticket to go to that wrestling show. Like, why are you not giving it everything you have? Like, obviously, I'm not going to do a 450 off the top rope in that, but I'm still going to like blow myself up as much as I physically can and put on a performance that those people are never going to forget about J.A.C. Like, that's my goal. I want people like to go home angry as hell at me or happy as hell at me, as long as I'm doing my job right. And as long as they're getting everything they deserve, because wrestling's an escape, and it should be an escape from your life.
Alright, so we're gonna start this segment called Trev Shock. So if you guys wanna do rock, paper, scissors, shoot for whoever goes first.
Rock always wins. Final boss.
Alright, so you got 50 seconds to answer 6 questions.
Okay.
They're questions basically about you before the show, or just general questions.
Okay.
And the current record that was just being before you guys is 36 seconds.
Oh, I'll beat that. Let's do it.
Alright, I'll start the timer after the first question. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Favorite pre-show snack?
Rice cake.
Pre-show jam?
Not like us.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
Rock.
Favorite sports team?
49ers.
Favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite type of music?
Rap.
So you beat it. You didn't beat the record, but you got 30 seconds remaining. So
Okay.
Mr. Ace Marksman still holds his record.
That was 26 seconds. Was the
36.
36?
Yes.
Who has the record?
Ace Marksman.
I'm about to beat it right now.
Wouldn't even get to hold it for a day.
I'm ready.
Alright, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite pre-show snack?
Cookies.
Pre-show jams?
Falling in reverse.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
Shawn Michaels.
Favorite sports team?
New England Patriots.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Favorite type of music?
Heavy metal.
So you did beat it.
God, I'm the
1
best.
second.
You didn't get to hear it.
I'll have to hear it from later on after.
I'm the best.
You get to hear all the questions.
I did.
I don't.
Yeah.
Rubber scissors.
I was like, man, I usually get like more time to like get this question out of my mouth before.
I know. I was like, hurry
up. What are the biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
I would say making time for your family and friends.
Yeah.
Because you're on the road every weekend. You're working your shoot on the weekdays, and then you have training after your shoot, and then you have your shows on the weekends. So it's your friends call you and they're like, hey, do you want to hang out Saturday night? You're like, sorry, got a show. You can come to the show though. And they're like, oh, I want to go drinking, so it's hard to like balance your personal life and your professional life. But it's one of those things where like you make sacrifices now so that later on down the road you can have fun. You know what I'm saying? So that would be the hardest.
Yeah, you miss birthdays, weddings, funerals. Like you miss it all, and I mean, it can be hard. And a lot of family members don't understand it, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. This is the life we chose, and we're willing to sacrifice whatever we got to for it. It's kind of weird because like my buddy David, who I mentioned earlier, is getting married soon, and I'm in his wedding, and like I have a show that Friday, the day before his wedding, and like I scheduled everything around his wedding, and I was going to be at the rehearsal dinner, everything, and then he like texts me, goes, "Hey, the rehearsal dinner changed to that Friday." I said, "Well, that sucks. I won't be there for that." I said, "I'm gonna wing it when I walk on the stage." So yeah, like that stuff. And then you got to be Superman. Like when you're around your like when I'm around my mother, my father, my brother, my grandparents, like I gotta be like Superman because they gotta that time that they never get. has to be important there, because they don't get it, and then you have to be as even if you've been in the car, Friday and Saturday, and the Sunday maybe you finally have a Sunday off for the first time in like 2 months, so you get to go see them. So then you got to have energy to be around them, even though you might have had 2 hours of sleep all weekend. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just how it is.
What is your guys' favorite hobbies to do outside of the wrestling world?
Drink. No.
Not me.
I'm actually sober right now, by the way. I just went 4.5 weeks sober, getting ripped for many a weekend. But I like to either watch when football season's going on. I like to go to a bar, sit down, and watch the playoffs and the regular season. I'm a huge 49ers fan. They're hurting me right now as they're cutting a bunch of people, and Christian McCaffrey just announced his retirement today, which I
Yeah,
know you commented and saw. I wanted to cry to death. I'm also a Duke basketball fan, and we're doing really well right now. And so hopefully we can win the championship this year, because I really think we can. We just won the ACC championship. So it's pretty sick year to be a Duke fan. And then we like to go bowling, play at Top Golf. I like to hit the ball as hard as I can. My brother's begging me to go start trying actual golf. And I think I might try that during the summer some when I have some off days. But it's hard because we work a shoot job, and then we work out, and we go to wrestling and wrestling training,
yeah,
because we want to be the best we can. So there's never time for hardly anything. And if there is, it's spending time with your friends and family.
yeah. I know recently I just got into this golf league. If you're wanting to join it one day down the road.
Yeah. Let me see how I do with my brother first. Let me practice a little bit. 'Cause right now I just go to Top Golf and I hit it as hard as I can. So,
You're doing better than me. I haven't golfed in 2 years, and they were like, "You want to join?" And I was like, "Sure, why not? What do I got to lose?"
yeah, I had a guy today at our shoot job ask me about doing D&D, and I did not know what that was, and I
Yeah,
was like, "What is that?" And because I'm always interested in trying to find new hobbies and trying new stuff. And he told me about that, and it sounds like nothing I would ever do, but it was cool. It sounded fun for if you like that kind of stuff. I just don't like board games. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't really, if I wasn't with him, I wouldn't be doing anything other than wrestling. I don't like going out. I'm a homebody. I don't like socializing. I don't know why. I have siblings. I wasn't an only child or anything, but I just don't like people, which is really crazy because I have to be around a lot of people in
yeah,
wrestling, but I just like to be by myself.
Yeah, it was funny because she was just recently sick, and I think that was the happiest I've seen her in a while, because she got to be away from everybody and not do anything. And I was like, she generally likes to cook and clean. That's her favorite thing in the world to do. She's a psychopath. But I always said, and this is on paper, when I was a kid, I said, I'm gonna marry me a Latina woman that can cook and that can clean. And I have done that, and I'm the proudest man in the world.
let's see. Um, how do you guys feel about the business side of wrestling?
It's cool. I mean, I don't know. I got you make it work for how it works for you. I got a rate, and I don't really like to go past that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think you gotta be prideful, and you gotta know your worth with some things. You know,
Yeah,
my rates definitely changed since I've got back from Japan, as it should. You know, and yeah, I don't. I'm not. I'm looking now more of working in maybe near California area, working up north, obviously with AML. But yeah, this year and coming up next year, my promotion in the Southeast are probably gonna dry up a little bit, just because I really want to make AML special. I want that
yeah,
to be that's where you see J.A.C. So yeah.
And people also need to remember it's a business. Are you here
yeah,
to make money, or are you here to make friends? What do you want to do? And there's a lot of things someone won't agree with something the promoter wants to do. You're not the promoter, buddy. You're the person getting paid to do something. So listen to your boss for the night. So that part, it's a business, and I heard it from Dr. Tom and Bruiser. They're like, don't take anything personal. It's a business. When you get to WWE, it's gonna be exactly the same. It's a business. So there's a lot of things that like people get emotional about, and I'm just like, you're gonna wake up tomorrow and everything's gonna be fine, you know. So
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
the business. Because like at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a job.
Yeah.
Like people, if you want to treat it as if all these people are your friends and your buddies and you're all buddy buddy, you want to stay in the same 50-mile radius with all your little friends. Like, cool, that's awesome. You do that. There is nothing wrong with that. But like, if you treat it as a job and not a hobby, then you have a set price. You stick to your set price, and because if let's say I go work for whoever in like North Carolina right now, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, brother, it's only like this amount drive for you. Yeah, but they pay me that in North Carolina as well. And like, would that not be disrespectful if I took less pay just because you think we're friends, which we are, but that's disrespectful to all the people that pay me
Yeah.
what I'm worth, So yeah, that pay is in the business aspect of like pay is a big deal to me because it's like this is wrestling, it's business.
And then how do you guys feel about the promotions and shaping the storylines?
I'm good literally with whatever. I've literally because like you could tell me what you're wanting and I'll figure out a way to make it work with my character and who I am, regardless of what it is. You want me to go out there just like a chicken? Nobody do that, please. But I would do it for you, and it would work, and I would be hated as a chicken. I don't care. I really don't. I mean, I get paid to do my job.
Yeah.
So it is a job. You make what you make work. Like any wrestler that gets mad, oh, they did this to me in the back. Like, come on, bro. Like this is a job. You're getting paid good money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you could wrestle any legendary wrestler, living or dead, from the past, who would it be and why?
Can I do a list? Because there's a list.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Because like obviously, like a lot of inspiration from like me is like Bruiser Brody. So obviously, I would want to work Bruiser Brody, but also like that would be like kind of the same versus the same. And I don't think matches like that are greatest. I would like to work like the Kenta Kobashis, the Masawas. In my opinion, those two guys are the two greatest baby faces of all time. And I'd be crazy. You're crazy not to say Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels too, and Harley
Yeah.
Race. I mean, you are, or Terry Funk.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mick Foley and me in a death match would be beautiful. Mick Foley
You
don't like
said
glass. I would
it.
do it. So,
I would love to wrestle Natalia just because she's been around for so long and she's a heart. She's a Neidhart. So,
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix is a bad bitch. I would love to wrestle her too. And then I always watched more of the men than the women. So like throw me in there with like Jeff Hardy again, and this time he can actually wrestle instead of, running away because he's scared of Clara Carter.
You know what would be a fun match?
Huh.
Getting to work like Eddie Guerrero.
I was just thinking that Eddie Guerrero. Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. Or Kurt Angle. Oh my God. Me and Kurt Angle would freaking have a banger.
Yeah.
Come out of retirement, Kurt. We'll work one more time.
Yeah.
Please don't. Stay healthy. Okay.
I don't know. Kurt probably would.
No, I don't know. I watched the one with him and Chris Van Vliet, and he seems pretty happy in retirement.
Yeah.
So like we got goated Kurt. So like go back and just watch the stuff if you want to watch Kurt.
I love Kurt.
Yeah, he is one of the goats. That's for sure.
So I know you brought up Beth. You could do a mixed tag team with Edge.
Yeah, I'd spear him.
Who knows when that guy's gonna retire?
Hey, that'd be cool though. And even working Edge in 2025 in any type of capacity would be pretty sick. So yeah, that'd be sick.
I think that people forget like how over Edge was at the time. Like even like Jeff Hardy in 2008 was more popular than Obama. People forget that. Like Jeff Hardy and Edge were like the poster boys at the time. He wasn't watching wrestling around like the 2008-2009 era, so he doesn't know. So sometimes I'll show him like Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho, Great American Bash. He's never watched that. It's fire. Beautiful.
Yeah, I remember my dad. Anytime we have like wrestlers or fans of wrestling over at our house, he'll go on and talk about his WCW stories as dating one of the producer's daughters.
Oh God.
No man.
So like, and then he went to school with Isaac Koloff's son.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, so he would be like, yeah, we never talked to Isaac Koloff's son, but we would talk to his dad outside of school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it because U.S. and Russia were at war at the time? He's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like his son got bullied just because he was Russian.
God.
Wow.
And I'm like, if they do research, they're not even from Russia; they're from
I was
Canada.
saying.
Yeah.
You were saying it, and I was like, he's not actually Russian, but okay.
Yeah.
But I was like, not trying to be rude because I was like, I hope he knows. But yeah.
But my dad told me like he would go to like lunches after school and do his homework with Isaac Koloff, and Isaac Koloff would still be in character, talking in Russian
Oh wow.
and everything. And I'm like, man, this guy must be like really set, just how like Ric Flair would do his.
Yeah.
My dad got to go to the bar with the WCW crowd, the roster and everything, after the shows, just to hang out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair would walk into every bar that he went to in Charlotte and say "around for everybody."
Must be nice being rich.
Well, she still did that. He didn't do that at wrestling.
Yeah, he didn't do that at wrestling page.
You just gotta remind him and be like, "Hey, didn't you used to buy drinks for everybody in Charlotte?"
He did walk in and go, woo! And he went to the
You
bathroom
did.
and back out and did it again. So yeah.
What a guy. My mom actually the apartment I grew up in Charlotte was 5 minutes down the road from the high school that Ric Flair's kids went to. So you would always everybody has a Ric Flair story in Charlotte,
Yeah.
I think.
What school did she go to? I'm wondering.
Providence High School.
I think that's the same school my dad went to.
Oh really? I lived like literally 5 minutes down the road from Providence, but I went to South Mac High School.
Okay.
5 minutes.
Her mom went to her school. Her mom actually went to was in Brazil. So I don't know what she.
No, what are you talking about? My mom, the apartment we lived in growing up.
Deep in Brazil.
I'm a first generation American.
Clara is from Brazil too. She got the knives running around.
I grew up in
Rio.
My friend went to the high school that Ric Flair's kids went to. Brock Anderson also went to that high school. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds like just should have just
Brazil.
at the time.
Huh?
It should have just been a wrestling school at the time.
That's what I'm saying. And like Brock is like 4 years older than me, I think. So I think he already graduated by the time I started high school. So
yeah. If you guys could attend a wrestling seminar session with any wrestler, who would you guys choose?
Oh God.
God.
That's hard. We did FTR did a seminar for AML. That was phenomenal. I would love to do another one.
I saw Samoa Joe had one recently, and I think that would be so awesome. Yeah. God, who would be cool? Like, I mean, anybody in the WWE right now, like obviously, because you would kind of want to learn from them. Shawn Michaels. Yeah, Triple H. I will go to a seminar for you, Mr. H. Paul. I will happily do it, Mr. Levesque. I'll go right now. Literally.
I think you just go to like a WWE tryout again, and he'll probably.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it was the first time. The first time I got the email, I was in a porta john while I was working construction, and I was literally like, I was pissing, and I looked down at my phone, and it said WWE in the email. I was like, what the hell? And I clicked on it, and it said, you have been accepted to go do your tryout with WWE. And I literally zipped my pants up as quick as I could. I bursted out of that thing and go, I'm going to be a WWE superstar, running up and down in the construction site. And then I quit that job like very shortly afterwards.
If you guys could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you guys choose?
Honestly, I have one. I mean, Shigusa Nagayo, like that's my mentor, you know. So like I wouldn't change that. My relationship with her is very close. So Yeah. Yeah, it's her. Yeah, I wouldn't change that for anything.
Same with me. I have Dr. Tom and I also have Bruiser, and I think having both of them, um,
Bruiser too for me.
Bruiser, yeah, because he's been everywhere in the world.
I mean, he got trained by Harley.
Yeah, literally. Know? I did. Bruiser's name will take you so far if it's on your resume, because I did extra work one time. And if you just go around talking to people, they ask you who you're trained by. If you drop Bruiser's name, so many people know it. And that's instant respect for you because they already know that you're trained by somebody who knows what they're doing. Because Bruiser was trained by Harley Race, and he trains us the exact same way Harley trained him. So, yeah, I think we have some pretty good mentors.
Yeah, we're very lucky.
We're very blessed, yeah.
What's your guys' opinion on the wrestling crossover events with other sports or entertainment industries?
Keep doing it. I mean, yeah, more eyes on wrestling, the better. Yeah, I loved watching. What was that guy's name? Kai get speared by a Braun Breaker. That was pretty cool. Yeah, like keep doing it. Like yeah, it's great.
It does bring more eyes to the sport because both of my brothers stopped watching wrestling when they got to high school because it was lame at that age. But they saw the video of Kai Cenat getting murdered by Braun Breaker, and they were like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" And then that got them back into wrestling, so now they watch it again. So,
did you guys get to meet Braun when he was in Charlotte?
I don't think I ever met Braun.
No, I don't think I met Braun. Yeah. I've met a lot of people, but I don't think I've ever met Braun.
Yeah.
I met Triple H.
Met Triple H too.
Met Roman Reigns. So, yeah, no, I never.
His height will surprise you because was like 3 or 4 inches taller than me.
Yeah, he's a Steiner though. They're all yeah. Not that. They're all not tall. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. No one, Rick. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Here we go.
Oh wow.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Some guy was like, he's probably gonna go like park his vehicle behind the building and everything, not to be recognized through the line. And I was like, nope. And all he sees him like driving by with his theme song playing out the window, and then drives around the building and parks. And I was like, I would just parked in the front. You're going all out already.
That's funny.
Yeah. What advice would you guys give to an aspiring wrestler?
Oh god.
Be patient. Not everything comes as quick, and just be proud in the work and work hard. And keep working hard. Don't get complacent. Complacency kills in wrestling. Yeah, that's probably my biggest like advice. And take gambles on yourself, because no one in this world is going to take a gamble on yourself but you. Especially in wrestling, like we're married, but it's up to us on how we succeed our individual selves. So like, yeah, gamble on yourself and chase every dream you can. Yeah.
And wrestling doesn't owe you anything. There's so many people that start off super humble, super nice, super hungry, and then they get a little bit of experience, and then all of a sudden they think that they're too good to lose to this person, they're too good to wrestle here, they're too good to do this, or that. Wrestling owes you nothing. Wrestling was here way before you, it will be here way after you. Just show up, do your job, do the best you can, because if you half-ass something, you're not only disrespecting yourself, you're disrespecting your trainer, and you're disrespecting the business. So, wrestling owes you nothing. Always remember that. And wrestling is fun. So go have fun.
Yes. Let's see. Can you guys talk about a significant rivalries you guys had and how it helped you guys grow as wrestlers?
For me, I wrestled Ella Envy a lot. Ella Envy was in my first match in North Carolina, and it was a tag match. It was me and Ella versus 2 other girls. And Ella was I was the last minute replacement because one of the girls canceled literally the day of. And that morning, Brian texted me. He's like, "Hey, girl, we need you." So all the girls were not happy that I was in the match because I was brand new. Nobody knew who I was. It was my first match in North Carolina. And Ella Envy was so nice to me. she has always been so nice to me. She's always been so supportive. She's always lended an ear for me to vent to. She's always at NWA when I did the Crockett Cup. She was so welcoming. She took me under her wing. She was so nice. Every time I wrestle her, I learned so much. I think that she is one of the best women on the indies in America today. So Ella Envy, I owe her a lot because I learned so much from her, and she's just an angel, I think.
Yeah.
And then what?
I've been fortunate. I've had a couple of good rivalries. I got a good rivalry with TT and J.R. Miller. My first year, I learned a good bit from that with like just crowd work and stuff. And like both of them are they're good wrestlers in it, and I learned a lot from the individuals, especially because of how green I was at the time period. I had a rivalry with even now with the Dawsons. I mean, you can't not learn from those guys. They're just like I cannot like them as much as I do, but like they are just very intelligent people, and they're very good in the ring. And yeah, I've learned a lot from them. Justin Flash out of Mount Airy in AIWF, I probably is my favorite rivalry I've had because of the story we were able to tell, the build up we were able to tell, and the finish we were able to have. And probably some of my favorite matches are with Justin Flash, just because both of our styles are so physical. And for a guy that is Justin's age, and for like honestly, even like the way Justin is, the moves he can do is crazy. The basing and the level he is at is phenomenal. And we would not talk in the back for those matches. We would go out in the ring and we would slug it out and have true pure pro wrestling. And if you ever get a chance on YouTube, all those matches are on YouTube. My favorite one is the what was it? The 30-minute Iron Man match was my favorite one out of all of them. If you watch the steel cage match, it's a 50-minute war, and we would go out there every night determined to like do stuff that company had never seen, and try to put that company on somewhat of like somewhere, and like it drew the most it ever has in years because of that rivalry. I mean, it has, and since then it does what it does. But that rivalry really like helped me in my career. I cannot talk about Justin Flash enough. I think he deserves all his flowers. He's a wonderful father, great human being. Yeah, Justin Flash. If you see this, because I know you watch my when I'm on podcast sometimes, you're the effing man, my friend. You really are.
He is one of the greatest people we've ever met in the business. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I truly, I love that dude. I do.
Yeah.
What was it like working with a particular wrestler that you guys really clicked with in the ring?
It was great, Justin Flash. No, it was great. Again with him, it was just him, and then my buddy David, who retired. He, me and him, just when we got together, we put on some just wars because we were best friends since we were in middle school. And I went back and watched recently a match with him because I kind of miss him, and that I had with him, probably our last one before I went to Japan, and it was great. Like David, if you ever get time out of firefighting to come back, you should, because there's still a lot left on the table that you can do. If you ever watch this, I highly doubt David will. But yeah, that was, we just got it because we were friends our whole life. And then the Dawsons, we click. Nick Nemeth and Brad Attitude, we click. Me and Bear City, when we get to wrestle, we have straight slugfest, and we click because we are brothers. Like I consider him not only a mentor but a brother and a true friend. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I wrestled, one that I was very surprised about was I wrestled Erica Demia a few weeks ago, and I was not expecting to have that good chemistry with her, and for some reason we clicked. It was crazy, and she loved it, and I love working with her. There's also another, what?
I just thought of like two other people.
There's another girl, Valerie Verman. She's based in the north. I wrestled her like 2 months ago at Bell to Bell, and it was supposed to be like a one-off thing, and our match was so good that they want to do it for like 3 more shows. So that was also someone that I was not expecting to have good chemistry with, because she's like a Barbie, and I just click with the Barbies and the superheroes, I guess.
Okay.
Again, the other two, I gotta say it because I would be criminal not to. Um, Diego Hill is probably, I didn't even know why I didn't think of that, but that's like if you, and I'm sure this will happen again in the future because we put on just bangers. We just do. I have better chemistry with him than almost anybody I mentioned, and it's just I don't know. When we get together, it's just magic. It is every time. It never hasn't been. And also like when it's me, Zuka, him, and Bojack, like we put on some great matches. And then also I've only wrestled him one time. But I really loved the match, and it was my favorite match until another match recently since I've been back from Japan. But Jack Tatum is really good. And also Griffin McCoy from CZW. He's phenomenal. We have great chemistry.
I'm glad you brought up Brad Attitude. What about that match he had last one with what's his name? Can't think about it at the moment. It was that scaffolding match. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was wild. Those thumbtacks hurt.
They did.
That took me forever to find out of the damn ring, by the way. I was getting so mad out there. But yeah,
Yeah, it was like
that was wild.
I was looking from the crowd, and I was like, "What the crap is this guy looking for? He's going around the whole ring looking for something."
I found it. It took me a while. I forgot where I
Yeah.
put it. But and then watching Brad Attitude fall almost 20 feet out of the air. It might be more than that. It might be 30. But yeah, that was cool. That was awesome. I really enjoyed seeing that because he's a low life piece of crap human being, and I cannot stand him. And the chance I get to punch him in the face again, I'm going to.
I was just about to say he's a good guy.
No, screw him.
Okay.
What is your favorite gear that you guys have ever had made?
Mine is the current gear that I have now. I'll give him credit for it because he was in Japan and he came up with the idea for it. But my gear now, for the longest time, I had trouble like representing my culture without it being like in your like I didn't want it to like I don't know, I just wanted it to be like perfect but also like me, and he came up with the idea to represent my culture more. And there is a Brazilian gear designer actually, and I got him to design the gear, so it's very like authentic, very Brazilian, and I love it. Carrie Craven made it and she slayed it. It is beautiful and I love it so much.
Yeah, I like my current set really well too. The camo just feels very country, and I was born in Knoxville, North Carolina, born and raised. I mean, I grew up with chickens around me, so yeah, I mean, that's just me. It just feels me too.
Yeah. And then where can they find you guys both on social media?
At J.A.C is a Batman on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you try to add me on Facebook, I will not add you back.
Then mine is at Clara Wrestling on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I'm terrible at posting because I don't like people, and I also don't like when people know what I'm doing in my life. So I only post really when it has to do with wrestling. A lot of people hate that, and they're like, I want to know what you do outside of wrestling. Nothing. I don't do anything.
I guess it's X instead of Twitter too.
Yeah, X.
And by adding me on Facebook, I didn't mean you. I meant just like the fans. So I just want to point that out there.
Well, always how I find more wrestlers, they would always pop up as suggestions from all the other wrestlers I'm friends with around the world, and I was like, okay, I've heard of you before, and it took me a while to recognize like we talked at WrestleCade about getting you on the podcast.
Yeah.
And like it didn't hit me the moment I found you saw you as a suggested friend on Facebook, and I was like, why not? He looks like a chill dude.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad my yelling and screaming in the ring makes it come off as I'm a chill dude, but I like that. Thank you.
You're just a chill guy.
Chill. I need to. What's that meme right now with
chill guy meme.
Yeah, with the chill. He has
Arthur.
Yeah, and he's got his little hands in his pockets. That should be my thing, right? With the beard. I'll make a new T-shirt.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Camo shirt, camo pants.
And then thank you guys for being on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then a shout out to the sponsors of TBD Wrestling, Apple City Championship Wrestling, Wrestling Evolution, and then guys, t-shirt contest giveaway going on till the Monday after WrestleCade, so December 2nd, I want to say.
Shout out TB Wrestling, Bojack.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Dreadlock Demolition Machine.
Yeah.
Money ENT. Screw you.
Even though this episode will go out like way after that match.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, still,
I love.
You know,
Bojack.
like, well,
He doesn't like Bojack. I love.
I don't
Bojack.
like anybody. Okay, they're all menaces. But no, TBD Wrestling. Go follow them. Good for Bojack. AML Wrestling. Go like, subscribe. Go to AML show. Best in the Southeast. Yeah.
Yes.
I do know I need to talk to, is it Tracy that I need to talk to about maybe working up a sponsor deal?
Yes.
Yeah. Hit him up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will talk to him at the next show whenever I figure out
Sponsor one of my matches. Get me to wrestle Suzuki. That'd be great. He's in America soon. There you go.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see that. Can't tell me you don't.
$1 million.
Hey, he's in America. He might be a little cheaper. Gabe Kidd. Let me wrestle Gabe Kidd. Start name dropping a bunch of people on this podcast.
Go ahead.
Let me wrestle Randy Orton. Give me Randy Orton. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, one day. We'll let that.
So back to the t-shirt contest, guys. We're doing, there's one for the wrestlers and one for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
So 2 random winners. Or if you see me at WrestleCade, I think I'm having a company design a bunch of those for whoever wants to buy them. Or if you're on the podcast, you get those ones for free too.
Damn right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, and see you guys next time if it works. Is it gonna work?
Wow.